Alright, well, I'm heading out of town again for a little family vacation, so I'll be gone a little over a week, so we're going to do another marathon and just make up for lost time, hopefully. So, the one we're starting with now is Hearts and Hooves Day, the episode. It's another Cutie Mark Crusaders episode, and in this one, they make a Hearts and Hooves Day present for their teacher, who then, when they ask, tells them that she doesn't have a very special sun pony, is the term this episode invents. So, yeah, they decide that they just can't have that. She's too special a teacher, so they need to find her one. And they look all over town, and the only one who's available is Apple Bloom's big brother, Big Macintosh, who, of course, we've seen before, but he's never had a starring role before. He's just been a supporting player at most. But anyway, they set them up to get together. It doesn't work, and then they come across Twilight, who's reading about Hearts and Hooves Day with a book that just happens to have the recipe for the love potion that started the holiday. So, okay, the Crusaders borrow it from her because she believes that they just want to read it that badly. They slip the two a love potion, and then they forget to read about the consequences of the last time this potion was used, that it was actually more of a love poison because it stopped the two lovers from looking away from each other's eyes. So the only cure now, after they finish turning the teacher, Miss Cheerily and Big Macintosh, into a bunch of knuckle-headed, cooing, useless oafs, they read up on it thoroughly this time. They see the cure is to keep them from looking into each other's eyes for 1 hour. And so the battle is on. To battle of wits versus passion between two brainwashed knuckleheads. So, okay. This episode does have its moral, I guess, of course, of trying to force two people, or ponies in this case, to fall in love when it wasn't meant to be. But I should say the strength of this episode, first and foremost, is just that it's really funny and it has a lot of fun with this. The part where they drink the love potion and they turn completely inane, they start cooing at each other with nonsense phrases like, "You're my schmoopy doopy sweetie weedy pony pie," just back and forth forever, like the Crusaders. When they're looking into each other's eyes, they're starting to fall for each other there. Over the moon, they think it's so romantic until they start talking, and then they a little confused. And then as it starts going, they try to get their attention, but they won't look away. And then the rest of the time, they're making the Crusaders gag more and more as it goes on. Just like the reactions to all of these nonsense phrases, it's just they have a great time with it. They have and they just keep looking for new ways to make them sound silly. They go to the bakery where Mrs. Cake serves them a milkshake, and they just sit there we get there at the end of this little session. Mrs. Cake has apparently been watching them go back and forth for hours. Like, you take the first sip, no, you take the first sip, sweetie pie, and just they a lot of fun with it. Although I think the biggest laugh actually may be when they first find out that Miss Cheerily does not have a very special sun pony. They ask her about it, and she's fine with it, or at least on the surface she is. She's like, "Oh, I don't have a very special sun pony right now." And they are like shocked, like, "How can a pony as special as you not have a very special sun pony?" And just she gives like this 1 second reaction to her that she's facing away. She gives this 1 second reaction that is says a lot in 1 second. Very funny. Just like this amused frown, like, yeah, I wish whoever would see that, but well, I don't know. It just I couldn't even do it justice, even though it is just like 1 second. It's I don't know. It almost just kind of says that, yeah, I wish somebody besides the girls I'm teaching would see that, but you gotta see it. We've long since established I'm bad at doing justice to these gags, but okay. That there's Big Macintosh, of course. He's always been, I guess, just kind of a fun character doing what he does. I mean, they kind of it's a running gag, I guess, that all he says is yep or no. For the most part, he does say other things, but it's like we get what kind of a character he is, and it's like they play up the fact that this is a character of few words, and actually they go into that a little bit in this episode, just a little. This isn't like his time for character growth or something, but they do, like his sister mentions that he's very shy, so when they're first trying to set them up, she said the best shot is for Miss Cheerily to ask him. So, and when your little sister is saying that about you, it's probably true. So, yeah, I mean, even she can see it. So, yeah, but I mean, so yeah, when they're first getting together, and they just leave them. They both call them there for reasons that don't actually exist, and then just bolt and try to leave them there. And I mean, she isn't much better at just rolling with the punches. She's kind of confused, but I mean, he doesn't even know what to say. She asks, well, nice day we're having, huh? And he takes a good 5-10 seconds to think of a response, which is his usual, yep. So, he just, I don't know, Big Mac, he's not so much the vocal performance. I mean, that's adequate and everything. They found the right voice for him, but I guess the charm of Big Mac is the animation to him, or at least this time around it is just how like benign and a taciturn he is, and how he just really was not meant to find the words for a situation. So, okay, just a lot of fun, and I mean not only do they have fun with it, but they make it memorable. They sort of play this for what it's worth, and I mean they go out of their way to make it unique. And I mean, especially there's also the climactic scene where the curious to keep them apart for an hour, so they tell them to get married, which the minute they hear the suggestion, they go get ready to get married, and Miss Shirley goes and starts trying on wedding dresses at Rarity's place, and although Rarity's not in this one, and Big Mac goes to buy a diamond, and then he leaves too soon. They're not able to get him to take long enough, so they try to tie him down to stop him from getting back, but we've seen before, Big Mac is kind of, Applejack is strong for someone her age and her stature, and Big Mac is her big brother. I mean, her big brother. I mean, he's one of the bulkier characters we see. So I mean, Apple Bloom, she tries to tie him to an ox-drawn cart full of anvils. Doesn't even slow him down. She ties him to a house, and it slows him up for a second, and then he's dragging that along too. And that's a strong rope she used to tie him up to. But no, it doesn't even slow him down at all, and then just all the way to the last stand where they dig a ditch to trap him in. But then Miss Cheerily hears him yelling, and they make their last stand where she bowls through them in this very funny slow-mo scene, and then crashes headfirst into Big Mac, and then they're back to normal and trying to figure out what's going on. Girls, can you tell me why it looks like I'm getting married at the bottom of a pit? Just all in all, a lot of fun. So, I mean, that's the draw of this episode. But also, I should, like I said, it does have its moral to it about not trying to force something that isn't there. And that's a message that, of course, I mean, with Twilight, the book that is, not the main character, with stuff like that, that's a message that is a little underrated. I mean, that's, because I mean, what you get the message for teens all the time that, a boyfriend or a girlfriend is like a status symbol, it's the sign that, that you're on top of your game or something like that. And, I mean, obviously, that's, probably leads to stuff like what the Crusaders are trying to do here, trying to force something that isn't there, or, trying to, I don't know, force yourself to be something you're not, and, I mean, or, to if, as the Crusaders do, if like a little brother or a little sister gets that message. I don't know if you've ever seen this happen, where the a little brother or a little sister tries to be like the cool sibling and set their older sibling up like, I know who you should be with, like it's meant to be or whatever. Like they have their head in the clouds, and then they maybe even create something that I don't know. Well, I've never seen anyone go as far as like the Cutie Mark Crusaders do here, just like have a whole scenario and just try to lure them into it. But it's a good message, I think, for little brothers and sisters that like don't try to force something to happen. Let whoever you're thinking it, let them handle it themselves. So that's probably actually a useful message for at least some people who would be watching the show. But anyway, though, so I guess overall I'd have to say that this might even be a borderline great episode. I mean, we've seen other episodes from the show be at least this funny, a share of them, a healthy share of them. But I mean, this one, I don't know, it's just so memorable. Just like the stuff it comes up with. I mean, it's not even like it's just the most wild animation we've ever seen or anything like that. But just they have some of the stuff, the way they play up the mushy talk and that Big Mac tied to a house, and just a lot of the scenery like that, and then or even just the making this love potion. They're just the going through ingredients like piece of cloud, so this is My Little Pony, so they can just fly up and pick that up. And rainbows glow. They take a vacuum cleaner to a rainbow, and Van got it. And okay, so just I guess very distinct episode. This is probably, and I mean for the characters it involves and how they play off each other, it definitely feels more significant than the Christmas episode. I don't know. I think Luna and her Halloween episode might still reign supreme on the holidays, but no, this is, I think, a borderline great one. It's, I mean, not quite at the top of the list, but at least right up there in the same league as the great ones we've had so far, at least. So, okay, and the next one is A Friend Indeed. So, moving on.